kids want to see a dead body.
How's it going, friends and family of the internet? Welcome to the Real AF TV podcast, the show where we usually talk about fishing and random takes from the land of 10,000 lakes, but we decided we're going to bring you a Halloween special. What do you think, Tim?
Oh, shit. I feel like it's getting spooky up in here.
And don't forget to introduce yourself, too. I totally fucked that one up. I just was like, what's up, Tim? I'm Josh LaBaw, and the other guy is what?
Tim Wagner. And I'm over here feeling all creepy and shit. Because I don't know if creepy's the right word. It's Halloween, baby.
It's Halloween,
I'm
baby.
just feeling all creepy. I got my hoodie on and I had the drawstrings pulled tight sitting in my basement for this one.
Which that's just normal. That's just normal behavior other than the creepy voice. I mean that's normal behavior for me. I'm a gamer. I just wear hoodies and that's how I live my life. In a basement with hoodies drawn tight.
Yeah. Yeah, like really nothing has changed at all for me. The creepy voice, it's all there. I'm just any random day I'm just in the my wife is just like, where are you? And just like, I'm in the basement.
Oh, but this, the Real AF TV podcasts, we're known for fishing and random takes at the land of 10,000 lakes, but I think we're just going to go one solid hour of Halloween special. I think we should make this a holiday thing. 4th of July, Christmas, Easter. Okay, maybe not Easter. I don't know how we could talk about bunnies and ham for an hour, but make me do it, internet.
Hey,
call me out.
Jesus is the reason for the season, bro.
Oh.
Or is that Christmas?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Well, there's a little insight that I didn't think we were going to get into.
Well, they're both technically the reason for this season.
That's right.
Yeah, like we're not trying to get all religious on here because we're not religious. So just throwing it out there.
So there it is.
Yeah, it when you're talking about Easter, you got a bunny and you got a guy dying, and that's the story.
And that's the story.
So
let's talk about All Hallows Eve.
He comes back to life too.
Oh, right. That's right.
Which is zombies.
Boom.
And that's bringing it back to Halloween.
Holy
bro.
shit. Boom. What a transition. Nice one. But seriously, Halloween, the reason why I said seriously is because we here in my household, we take Halloween pretty seriously. It's like our number 2 season behind Christmas. It's definitely like October 1st, Halloween movies come out. Boom. What do you guys do? Like, are you the same way with the movie situation?
So I am the same way with the movie situation. I start watching creepy shit. I watch horror movies all year round, but when it hits now, like as soon as it hit, like we have Hulu, and as soon as October hit, they started doing this Halloween. And as soon as that hit, they're like, hey, here's all the scary shit we have. Like, here, it's easy for you to find.
We're going to push it right to the top.
And I'm just like, yeah, let me see. Yeah, and then I just started watching old stuff. Like, Hellraiser 2 was on, and I'm like, I don't remember if I've seen this. Like, a lot of the horror movies I saw, the older stuff I saw when I was a kid. And I shouldn't even say a kid, but I mean, it was like 20 years ago still. And it's like, I don't remember if I saw that. And I know that I've seen Hellraiser movies, but I rewatched that one and I can't remember. I don't think I saw that one. Maybe I did. They're super confusing. Dude.
What, the Hellraiser movies are super confusing?
Oh, Jesus. There's so much going on. So like the Hellraiser movies, like the initial first one, the dude is like into the BDSM like
Scene.
bondage
Yep.
stuff, and he wants to like get beat and whipped and all this other stuff, and he like opens this Pandora's box type deal where like he gets what he wants, and there's like all this torture and stuff, and like I haven't seen the first one for a long time, so I don't remember how it all goes. And they kind of play a little bit of the first one in the second one, kind of giving you a recap of like what
Oh,
happened so
yeah.
you understand what's going on in the second
Yeah,
one.
the whole like last
But
time
even
on.
still, I'm watching the second one. Yeah. Dude, I mean like there's like these people that used to be people, but now they're demons, and they're like just completely disgusting, tearing people
What the
apart and stuff, and they have to kill people to like get power to
what
like bring somebody
what
back.
the
And
fuck?
I don't even know, dude. I'm watching the second one like trying to follow along, and the whole time I'm like, these are a lot more gory than I remember. Like
Holy
everything's
shit.
fucking wet
Oh,
and just bloody, and it's just like I'm watching the whole thing trying to understand what's going on, and I can't follow it
oh.
for shit,
It's
dude.
just
It's
like
so
purposely
confusing.
just gross almost. Like there's just so much shit going on.
Oh yeah,
It's
for
just a
sure.
is it a slasher movie? Like that's so go back and listen to episode 5 if you want. We kind of go into horror movies. We already know if you haven't listened to all the episodes, you should know by now. Tim goes in on horror movies, so we are going in. Why not if not now? And
Yeah,
I know I
yeah,
asked this before, but
perfect.
slasher thrillers, this is a slasher film, right? Like that, like fuck you up just to fuck shit up is a slasher movie.
Kind of. I kind of. I don't know what like this is in a category of its own
Oh
because
God,
it's
it's
not.
that
I
gross.
mean, it's kind of a thriller where there's well, it's a slasher is really like there's a bad guy that's going around just killing people, and I mean, I guess Hellraiser's kind of that, but it's like weird scenes. Like in the first one, I remember these like hooks come out and like hook into the dude's face and his back and his arms, and there's hooks everywhere. And
Holy
at one point,
crappers.
apparently, it pulls to the point of where he
What?
explodes and just
What?
and there's just blood and guts everywhere. You're just like,
What
what the
the
fuck?
fuck, dude?
But yeah, dude, the second one that I was watching, they're like, there's a lady, and they end up going into like hell to find this other person, but it's kind of like this weird representation of hell. And she walks into this room, and the like guy from the first one is down there, like, oh,
Oh,
I don't know, he says some
okay.
shit, and there's these two trays that keep coming out. Like everything is very sexual but also very gross at the same time.
Mm.
There's these two big long like mortician type trays, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
they're made out of stone, and they keep coming out, and these girls are underneath these white sheets, and everything is covered in blood, so it's kind of translucent,
Mm.
and they keep like writhing and moving like they're in pleasure but also in pain,
But
and those things keep coming out
oh,
and going back in and coming out and going back in, and you're just like,
what the
I don't even know what I'm looking
what
at
the
anymore. Like the whole time I'm watching the movie, I'm just thinking about like the director and who wrote this, and they're just like, what we need is some hot chicks underneath some white sheets. We're gonna cover them in blood, and then we're gonna keep showing them, and then we're gonna put them away, and then we're gonna show them, and then we're gonna put them away, and then they're just gonna be like, where do we go from there? Who fucking cares, dude? We're not gonna tell. We're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna tell anybody why we did it. It's just gonna be there. Everybody's gonna be like, what the fuck was that? Dude,
Oh my
the
God.
movie is so confusing.
Is that uh Pinhead is the character, is the main character? Is that what is that one?
Yes.
Okay, because that
Yep.
cover, dude, at the
Yes.
movie
Yep.
rental place, you remember those things? freaked me the fuck out, dude. I
Yeah.
hated that thing. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's just something about
In the
those.
second one, and
Oh, it's like a perfect grid with these
yeah,
like. Oh God. Okay, that's it. That's all I can do.
and in the second, dude, in the second one, it shows how that guy came to be. Like he's a regular dude, and he opens the box just like the guy did in the first movie, and then like all these wires come from like out of nowhere and like wrap around his face, and they're like what caused the grit. Like they cut into his skin, and then the pins just come out and stick in every intersection,
Ugh.
and then he gets his fancy leather outfit, and then apparently he like rules the other ones. But so then there's a part where I can't remember what the lady had to do to like stop it all, but she like stops it all, and they like revert back to what they normally were. So like he turns into like a normal guy.
Mm-hmm.
There's like this other dude that doesn't have a face really. It's just like one mouth,
What?
and all of a sudden like he's like a 15-year-old
What?
boy just like laying. It's just like a body laying there, and you're just like, I'm still so fucking lost.
Like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, and then it just kind of ends, and there's like some doctor that wants to, but yeah, there's some mattress from the first one, and they
A
bring
mat?
it
Did you
into
say
this room,
mattress?
and a mattress,
Okay.
a blood-soaked
Oh.
mattress that's from the first
Okay.
one, and it has something like the person that died in the first one, like they're killing people in the first one. If I remember right, they had to like kill people in the first one to like bring this person back to life.
Yep.
Like the
Okay.
first guy opened the box, died, and then they had to kill people to bring him back to life or
Okay.
something.
Okay.
And the second one, they're doing the same thing with this chick, but this chick, like how I was talking about it being sexual,
Mm-hmm.
like she has no skin. So they
Oh.
like wrap her in these bandages, and they're still all like soaked and bloody and stuff.
Yeah.
And then she like leans in, and like they show close up of her like kissing this doctor, and she's got no
Oh
skin, so it's like
boy.
red bloody grossness, and they're like making out, and you're just like, God, this is just hard to watch.
Yeah, dude.
Just the whole movie
Holy
is like, I
crap. That's insane.
yeah,
What?
it's really
Okay,
I
so what other kind of
yeah.
goofy movies is Hulu? Not goofy, I shouldn't say. Like, okay, that's your thing. Cool. You do you. I don't even think you enjoyed this movie, and you are a scary movie guy. What else is Hulu pushing? Because we're
No.
we get the same things. Like we get Hulu pushing things up to the top. It's Halloween. Netflix. We have Netflix. Netflix pushes stuff to the top. Adam Sandler has a new movie on Netflix. Um, but I want to hear
Yeah,
more.
dude, I want to watch that.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. I won't. I'll keep away from spoilers. Uh, but what else is Hulu pushing to the top? Like, is it all these scary things? Because other outlets are doing that too. They do this spooky thing, and then yeah, like not spooky. That's not even the right word because spooky doesn't have the right tone. They do this scary movie thing, like Scream and Pinhead and Halloween, and they do those movies that are just like murders and shit. Is that what they're pushing? Like all
Right,
is that
right.
all the stuff that gets pushed up during October to you?
Well, no, it's like for me, I mean, it's pushing that a little bit more for me because I watch horror, and
Mm-hmm.
Hulu knows that. Like it already suggested horror stuff for me,
Mm-hmm.
but Hulu doesn't really have a real great movie library.
Mm-hmm. More
So it's
TV.
pushing a lot of shows, but it is, yeah, it's pushing some stuff that I don't know. Like, I mean, it shows American Horror Story. It
Mm-hmm.
shows, but I've watched
Right.
almost all of that already. So, um, but it's pushing some other. I want to say it's called like Monsterland or something. That
Mm,
looks interesting, but
really?
I haven't really watched any of that because we also through our phones, um, we have AT&T
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
now, which is it's fine. So there's your endorsement for AT&T. It's fine.
It's fine. Put it on the box. That's the next
um
commercial.
yeah,
AT&T
yeah.
5G.
We're not bad.
Doesn't suck.
Yeah. AT&T 5G. It's better than not having it. So
You can have that one for free, AT&T.
yeah, there's your shout out. We won't even try to get any free merch from you because it's not. I'll just leave it at that. Anyways, so through there, I can't remember what happened exactly. Like we had some free service through them, but then they switched whatever they were doing, and now we get HBO Max for free, and they have a lot better movies.
Yeah, because HBO Max is actually Cinemax and HBO together, which I didn't realize at first, but that's why it's called HBO Max. So,
Yeah, and you got all the dope shit that HBO
which
made
is the
that
dopeness.
I've wanted to watch forever, and I didn't have access to it. So now I'm a couple episodes into Game of Thrones because I've only seen one episode of
Oh
that.
shit!
So
Hell yeah!
even though it's October and a lot of time I'm watching horror movies and stuff, now I have access to like Game of Thrones and The Sopranos and all this stuff that I've never got to watch, and I'm just like, oh,
Some real fucking
I
quality
don't.
TV.
I'm just right. I'm not in the same October mindset
Sure.
as I have been in the past because I just got all this new stuff.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
also, I think I probably go a little bit harder on it, like this next week, and then I'll binge horror
Yeah,
movies.
because when the podcast releases, it's the Monday before the Saturday. That is Halloween. Halloween's on a Saturday this year. Fuck yeah. Fuck you, COVID. You suck. There would have been
Yeah,
so many dope parties this year.
yeah.
Shithead.
Oh my god, I'm still going to a party, but it's smaller. But yeah, dude, that would have been it would have been crazy this
Yeah.
year. Everybody's been waiting for it forever, and then COVID's just like, "Ooh, we're gonna ruin everybody's plans."
So
Fucking COVID.
the because you're watching HBO Max, you're not getting to a lot of movies. I'll get into my selection because that switches us into the different kind of movies because I'm not into the horror stuff so much. But before we do that, I have to ask you: is this a Hills Have Eyes month?
Oh my god, dude. It's the Hills Have Eyes month for sure. That's the that is my jam. That is the best in my opinion, that's the best horror movie ever made. The remake. I've never seen the original. I should probably watch the
Oh, I didn't
original.
even know there was an original. What do you know
But
when it's from? Like what
mm,
era? 50s, 60s? I mean, how old are we talking?
no. Um he could have been I want to say it's like 70s,
Okay.
but um it was older. Fuck, there's a guy in it.
There is a guy
Um
in it. I guarantee it.
yeah. There's I just googled it 1977.
Okay.
The guy on the cover, the main guy from the movie is just a odd looking dude.
In the original,
And
you're talking in the 1977 version, right?
yeah, yeah, and he's just kind of a weird looking cat. Like his face is just a little bit
Oh yeah, yeah,
off,
yeah, for sure.
and that's just how he's always looked. And I cannot remember. I'm not even going to try to think of it, but there's been other stuff I've seen him in. I feel like it's been little kid stuff.
Okay.
Like maybe he was like in one of the Ernest movies.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ernest Er- Ernest definitely has
There's
a
an Ernest
Halloween.
Halloween
Oh,
one, dude.
definitely. I have not caught it,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
think Voodoo probably has it, but enough of the like okay. So yeah. Why is the remake like the best movie? Cuz the 1977 version is like a 6.3 on IMDb. What makes it the perfect scary movie for you?
Well, so for me, I'm kind of fucked up. Like I just like it. I like the stuff um hardcore and I like when stuff breaks the rules. I really don't like to be able to see things coming.
Yeah.
And that movie did not know where any of it was going. There's so many of them where, like, Jason. I love Friday the 13th movies.
Mm-hmm.
I love Nightmare on Elm Street, like Nightmare on Elm Street less.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the first one, the remake was dope, but there's so many of those movies. Some of them just got over corny,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, like,
I mean, I
it's
don't
the
watch
same
these movies
storyline
that.
over and over, and you see it coming.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Is like I don't watch these movies like at all, hardly. But it's like they play into the trope that it became. It was like they made one movie and it did this thing, and they made another one and it did a thing, and then it like, to describe it in today's words, it's like a meme. It like became a meme, and they just kept doing the same meme, and now they're on movie number 15, 16, 17, whatever, and it just seems so predictable and corny actually at this point because of what they keep playing into that like corniness of it. That's the only word I can think of right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a couple of the Nightmare on Elm Streets that definitely got corny. Like, just so Freddy always kind of, he was a little bit of a funnier guy. Like, he tried to have taglines and say stuff, and
Okay.
like, I remember one of the movies where there's so if you're not familiar with Nightmare on Elm Street, um, Freddy Krueger is he died in a fire. There, he's a real piece of shit. Probably one of the worst ones out there as far as the bad guys go, because he was molesting children. Worked in the school, and or I can't remember if it was a school or a church, but he was molesting kids, and the parents figured out that he was doing that, and he like was the caretaker of the place, and he lived at the place, and all the parents went there and burned the place down.
No shit.
And that's why his face is all fucked up,
Yeah, that's
because he
why.
died in a
Yeah.
fire, and now he was so evil that he came back, and now he's able to haunt people in their dreams. So he kills everybody when you go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're sleeping is when you run into Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
And he can do whatever he wants because he's in a
Because he's
dream. And in
controlling.
one of the things, yeah, in one of the movies, he is a TV, and all of a sudden, like, I can't remember exactly how it goes, but it gets to a point where he ends up like his arms come out of the side all,
Human
this was
like.
back when the CG was horse shit, and it's like, yeah, well, I mean, it's like real, uh,
Puppet.
I can't
They
remember.
look like
I
puppet
can't think of the
arms.
word right now. It's like claymation. A claymation is what it looks like. How it's all, how it's like the frame rate's real
Uh-huh.
skippy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't think of the right word that I'm
Stop
trying.
motion is the word you're looking
And
for. It's
yeah,
stop
yeah,
motion.
and it like, yeah, and it right, and it comes out, and he like grabs onto this girl, and he goes, um, I might be saying this line wrong, but it's like, "Welcome to prime time, bitch," and then he like smashes her head into the TV that is him, and that's how he kills her, and you're just like, "What the fuck? That's
Yes.
so corny."
Yes.
Welcome to prime time, bitch. So stupid.
So stupid.
But so you got that with a lot of the you got all that with a lot of the horror movies. A
Mm-hmm.
decent amount of the bad guys don't talk. Jason doesn't say shit.
Yep.
Michael Myers doesn't say shit.
Nope. The guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like you don't even
But
fucking see that guy basically.
he screams and stuff. He doesn't really say anything. He's just
Right.
running around like, "Wah."
Right.
And he's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think it's Psycho. Those ones are loosely based off of Ed Gein, like real life
Oh yeah, like
serial
a real
killer
suit. Yep.
from just just across the border over in
Yeah,
Wisconsin,
that's right.
who's Uh, if you want to really learn about some fucked up shit where it's not just make believe, you go look into that guy. I won't even
Ugh.
tell you what happened, but
No.
I will tell you that the first cop on the scene after walking into his place ran out of the house and threw up in the snowbank.
Jesus.
There's an idea of what that was like.
Oh God.
Hardened, well, I shouldn't say hardened, but police officers that have had to deal with some shit threw up the moment he walked into this guy's
My
house.
God. Let's get back to The Hills Have Eyes instead.
Yeah. Yeah. So the hills have eyes. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, came out
2000.
14 years ago,
Yeah.
15
Yep.
years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on you if you haven't seen it yet. I won't tell you exactly what happens, but so it's a family that is I forget where they're going to. They're trying to go someplace
So
and
they're traveling.
um they're traveling. They have like an old suburban and they are pulling a like bigger camper.
Mm-hmm.
And as they're going, they get to a spot where it's this little kind of gas station and this guy says, "Hey, I got a shortcut for you and it'll save you a bunch of times if you go this way." And basically, this guy leads these people right to a um, area where there has been a bunch of nuclear testing in the
Mm.
past.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They were dropping nukes. It was like a test city out in the desert.
Right.
And there were some people that lived there. And now they're all
Um,
fucked up. And they
mm.
are monsters. And I mean, not like monsters. They're all disformed and stuff. One guy's got a real big head, but and sits in a wheelchair. But other than that, yeah, it it just completely goes off the rails, man.
And you just like don't see anything
There's no
coming,
rules.
basically, right? Like, yeah, like no rules. Like it's just
There's
like,
right. They're setting yeah, they're setting up the storyline, the who you thought was the main character or who was gonna be like progressing and stuff. A lot of times when you see these movies, they're setting it up like, a lot of the horror movies are like, here's the virgin, she's not gonna die. Here's
right.
the slut and the jock, like they're gonna
Yeah.
die quick. Yeah, whoever shows their tits first is dying quick.
Yeah, dude, it goes back to the trope, like the corniness. It's like it keeps playing into its own thing, like you were saying before. But this movie just doesn't have that stuff in it.
No, dude, nope.
That's
It's completely different, and they're setting everything up, and you're just like, okay, so I think this is that person, and this is that person, and quite quickly, like people kind of split up and do that a little bit stereotypical thing where you're just like, why are you people running away from each other? Like, why aren't you staying in a group? And they kind of do a little bit, but at the same time, like, this is happening when they don't know anything is creepy. They blow a tire, and that's why they split up.
what?
They don't know that there was any sinister acts or that somebody else made them blow a tire. Like, these things caused the tire to blow. They don't know that it happened. All of a sudden, they blew a tire, and the dad is like, "Well, I guess I'll walk back to the." They were like, "Okay, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. I'll start walking back to the
Hmm.
gas station. You walk the other way, and the rest of you stay here with our stuff, and we'll try to get some help." So they didn't know anything sinister was going on at that time.
Okay, okay.
And then all hell breaks loose, man.
Oh
Um,
God,
like I don't I don't know how far into it I should get. Like I don't know if I
no,
should throw out spoilers and
that's
like
okay. That's
these
Go ahead.
I'll just say that like all the rules are broken. Like the people who you thought were going to be the main people um all die. The person that you thought was going to be kind of like the coward ends up kind of being the hero. Um but barely a hero because like everybody's fucking dead. It's
Don't get that twisted.
they
Everybody still fucking dies in this movie.
yeah, yeah, it's like it ends by them just being like, "Hey, he kind of won," but then you're just like, "Oh, no, he's probably still gonna die." But like, it's just that's why I love it so much is that there's just it breaks all the rules, and even cinematically, like
hmm
there's just stuff that they do where, um, like here's a little spoiler alert. I'll say spoiler alert now. If you don't want to hear anything about this movie and what happens, skip like 30 seconds ahead.
Yep.
So
Go.
there's one point where the guy is standing behind a door and kind of listening to it, and you're like, oh shit, like here comes, I know he's gonna break through the door, and he
hmm
takes a couple of steps back, and then this big badass busts through the fucking wall to the side of him.
Oh shit.
Like you don't see that shit coming at all. You're just
No.
like, oh, here he comes through the wall, boom, through the camera angle you weren't expecting it to happen through, and
Right.
you're just like, oh shit.
Holy shit. Nice.
Yeah, it's just cool stuff like that. It's done.
Right.
I was just gonna say it's done very well. I just like it.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
They're
And I actually just looked it up.
they're
It's on HBO Max. So there you go.
perfect. I will watch it again. Hills Have Eyes 2 is okay, not as good. I will preface too that um for those of you out there, if you have any issues with watching a rape scene, I know some people have a
Oh
really
no.
hard time with that.
Yeah.
My
hmm
wife definitely doesn't care for watching it. Even she didn't have anything happen to her. She just doesn't like that stuff. I'm not saying I like it either, but I can differentiate a movie from
Yeah,
real
you have
life,
it
and it
doesn't
doesn't
suck
bug
you
me
in
because
so
it's a
far that
movie.
you yeah, I get it. You're keeping there's a good barrier between like fiction being acted out. Sure.
Yeah, yeah. But we saw. I was so sold on this Hills Have Eyes through the original um, trailers that we went and saw this in the theaters, and like uh, two or three couples walked out during the
Holy
movie,
shit. They just flat
and
out
I
left, huh?
yeah,
They were just like, "No, this is enough. I'm
yeah,
out."
it's
Boom.
pretty
They
hardcore,
left.
man.
Holy shit. I guess
Yeah,
so.
hmm
Well, all right. If you guys are into that stuff out there,
it,
you watch it on HBO Max. You hit us up on Twitter or on Instagram, REELAFTV, Real AFTV. Hit us up because talk about it. Tim will talk about it all day. So I got to stop him because I think
I'll
there's
talk about it
two.
all day. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to stop you and
what
say, I think there's
one
two
one
sides.
more.
Okay.
If
You got one more. See? All day, baby.
I was just gonna say, yeah, well, I just gotta say, if you wanna see it a little bit more fucked up, get your hands on the director's cut. I have it on Blu-ray. I watched that the director's cut, and
hmm
there is one scene that is not in the main movie
mm.
that is. I watched it and I go, well, I know why that didn't make the movie.
Oh, God. Well, there you
So
go. I mean,
there you go. Yeah.
Tim's fucking selling it now at this point, or getting you to sign up on fucking HBO Max, one of the two. Jesus, I'm not going
I
to.
don't, I don't know if the director's cut's on HBO Max.
Oh, right. I don't know. I guess I didn't look that up either. Anyway, go find the.
It's not that big of a deal. It's still a great movie without it. So
Sure, sure. So I think there's two parts to Halloween, right? There's that like scary, creepy, like fear part of it. And then there's the like fun kid trick or treating side that has become Halloween now. Do you know what I mean? By like, it's almost like a cartoony version of Halloween. And I don't know like what the fuck All
yeah,
Hallows Eve is supposed to be or anything like that. I don't know any of that, but it's like the stuff we grew up in where we fucking got Power Range costumes and our plastic pumpkins and we went door to door and everything was like smiles and candy. That's the side of
yep,
Halloween movies that I get into, like lots of Scooby Doo, and I shouldn't say me and my wife. We do lots of Scooby Doo. That's We actually just bought the new one last night. It's dope. It's got Bill Nye the Science Guy in it. A it was it's crazy because I don't know. I don't think you're a big. I'm not a big comic guy either, but we know Batman. We grew up with Batman. WB owns Scooby Doo, so they're doing these like Batman characters overlaps. Like they have. It's just crazy to see like Batman and Scooby Doo. It's like what? I guess because they're both like detective shows. I
Like they're
guess.
together?
Oh yeah, like a villain from the Batman universe. So like a Gotham City villain is just straight up the villain in this new Scooby Doo movie.
And then what? Like they take off his head and he's like, it's not really him. It's old man Jenkins from the grocery store again.
Oh no, they fully embrace it. They just say flat out, "Oh no, he's the Batman villain." Like they don't say it in those exact words. They call him by his name. I'm not going to give anything away in case anybody wants, but that's seriously it.
Okay.
Like he's just full on. He's the Batman guy. And there's like, if you look up Scooby Doo, there's like Batman crossovers. Anyways, it's not about. Yeah, they go in on it. It's crazy. Do you watch any of these like fluffy ones? Because like Hocus Pocus is a huge one here. I think that was the first one we watched October 1st. We just threw in Hocus Pocus and we were like, bam, let's do it. Do you know that one?
I have never seen Hocus Pocus.
No.
I know what it is.
Oh,
I've
okay.
never seen it.
Okay. Yep. And then yeah,
No.
like so you probably never seen any of these because now we got Disney
But then,
Plus, and so you can get all of this stuff. Twitches, Halloween Town, Toy Story of Terror. We do that. We do the fluffy cartoony shit.
yeah, I've never seen any of this stuff. I, uh, uh, so, that Hocus Pocus has the hot girl from Waterboy in it, right?
Nope. You're talking
Is she
about
in that movie? No.
the love interest, I'll say, in Waterboy, right?
Yes. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of that other. There's another witch movie. That one's more of a
Oh,
horror movie, horror thriller. I
okay.
think Hocus Pocus is completely like that one's a lot softer, right?
Oh
Isn't it?
yeah, dude, this is a fluffy Disney flick for sure. This is just like three witches
Yeah.
from the Salem days, but they don't,
Bet
they don't really get
Bette
too far
Midler.
into it. And yeah, exactly. Yep. Some musical
Yeah,
numbers
not a
and
fan.
I can't argue can't I no argument points. But where this is all going is Adam is Adam Sandler's new movie on Netflix. It's one of those. It's totally
Yeah.
one of those. It's not bad though. I mean, we watched it. I think it was like on like the
Did
13th
you?
day of
Okay.
Christmas or something like that. I know I said Christmas because I'm making a joke. Like we pretty much watch a Halloween movie every night of October. I mean, that's how far into the movie situation we get. So yeah, dude, if I know you don't have Netflix, but if you get a chance to catch it, it's worth it. He's kind of like a Billy Madison Waterboy kind of character, but they have some pretty decent
Oh yeah,
jokes,
I've seen the trailer.
and it comes together. Yeah, that's all you need to
Yeah,
see to
I
know
mean
that he's like Billy
it looked.
Madison meets Waterboy kind of character.
Yeah, I seen that he's like that over the top protective guy in the trailer I saw where he's just like calling the cops all the time and the cops are just like
Yeah.
basically like it's almost like a Halloween version of the boy who cried wolf is what it felt like, but not that
Oh,
he
for
cried
sure.
wolf. He like legitimately always thought that there was a problem until he goes, "Oh geez, no, I just didn't know what a problem was."
Yeah, that's pretty much what the movie boils down to. Yep. It's kind of what it is. I won't get into the spoilers because it is brand new and it's decent. I mean, if you get a chance to check it out, definitely do. But it falls into that section of Halloween movie that we're more into here on my side of the microphone. That sort of cartoon, fluffy trick or treating sort of stuff. Uh,
Right. Well, my
and
wife would probably like that stuff because she's upstairs right now watching Hallmark videos.
mm,
So if I gave her like a fluffier version of Halloween stuff,
then there you
but
go.
I just I can't bring myself to do it. I can't
Well, as a
just
horror
do it.
movie person, I can see how it makes it hard.
I just rather be like, you go watch your shit, and I'm gonna watch something scary out here. Like the whole time I watch one of those fluffy movies, I'm just gonna be like, when is one of these bitches getting stabbed?
How come nobody got knifed yet? What the fuck?
I haven't seen a single eyeball roll across the floor. This is fucked.
So, uh, I said we're gonna go an hour. We're going a nonstop hour. Our first nonstop hour of Halloween specials, uh, which we're gonna do no problem. But the point I'm trying to make here is, I think we can make a lot of talk about Jack O' Lanterns. I don't know why the O is in the middle. Why is it Jack O'
Yeah.
Lanterns? So I want to talk about
Oh,
pumpkins. The carving of the pumpkins used to be a huge thing for me when we were kids. Me and Sarah did a little bit. Me and the wife would get out a pumpkin and cut in a little bit, and it's fun. We'd go over to my family's house and we'd cut up some pumpkins. The other side of the family, my sister's side of the family, niece and nephews and stuff like that, they still do it. We kind of don't so much. It's so much work cutting off the top, gutting the pumpkins, all of that stuff. Do you guys save the seeds? Because that is the part that turns me off the most about it. I know on last episode, uh, excuse me, I didn't mean for that to get in the way. Anyways, go back to the last episode. You'll hear us talk about fall cooking. I did not think about bringing up pumpkin seeds until now. Do you guys save the seeds? Because that is the worst part about making a jack o' lantern, in my opinion.
never, never have I ever saved the seeds.
Really?
I am pretty serious about carving the pumpkins, and I don't have time for that shit. Get them out of
Mm-hmm.
here. I'll I will buy them if I want them. I think sunflower seeds are better, and I'm gonna carve my pumpkin and get that shit out of here.
Dude, I'm so glad to hear you say that. It takes forever. It's
Yeah.
so annoying. And I know you go hard. That's why I had to bring this up. Is because you go hard in the pumpkins. We just got the patterns out of the books. Like you go to Target and you get that book pattern and you get like the 5 knives and the scraper. So we have piles of those knives and scrapers and
Yep.
stuff like that and books of patterns still from years and years ago. That's how we do it. How do you do a jack o' lantern?
I do a shaded jack o' lantern is what they call it. I got when you do shaded, you get 3 colors is how I look at it
What?
versus 2.
Three?
When you're cutting a pumpkin, well, when you're cutting a pumpkin like you get 2 colors. You get black and you get orange, right? Because you're cutting a hole in it, so you have the light poking through for your orange,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a black on the spot where you don't cut.
Yeah, no, that makes sense
Well,
because at night the pumpkin turns black, and then the inside of the pumpkin is orange with the light. Yeah, okay, I'm following you.
right. Yep. So when I do the shaded, I scrape off the skin on some parts. I cut through in other parts, and I don't cut it like, and then you have the black just like you had it on your other one. So it just adds that scrape part. So you have the bright orange where the light's completely through. You have where you just scrape off the surface skin so that it's translucent. The light comes through and it's orange that way. And then you have the black. So it gives you 3 colors. So there's more depth to what you're making. It's
Mm-hmm.
not,
Mm-hmm.
you can draw a picture a little bit better. But I also do it because you can have way more elaborate pictures because you're not trying to make everything stay connected. You know,
Yeah.
like when you're cutting the holes and stuff, there has to be something connecting the pieces.
Right. Right.
When you're scraping it, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So that's and the way the inside of the pumpkin, man, I do the scraping with clay tools. I know some people like use Dremels and stuff. I think that's like
Oh my God.
a little bit cheating, but also like I don't know if I have carpal tunnel or what, but my hands go numb sometimes, and the
Mhm.
weight of a Dremel is too much to try to draw with. I'd rather use the little light clay tools. But
Oh
the
my
clay tool,
God.
the real big one, it's kind of got like a oval. That thing is so dope for getting the guts out of the pumpkin. You just go on the inside and shave. Like some people are in there trying to like pull all the strings and stuff out. You take that
Mhm.
big guy and you just scoop out the inside all the way around. I
Really?
can completely clean and gut a pumpkin. And yeah, dude, you give me like, I don't know, 5 minutes.
Holy
I get the whole
shit.
thing.
And how big a pump are we talking? Are we talking like basketball size or what?
Yeah, whatever. Basketball size, it doesn't change the time much
What?
based off of the size.
Holy
Basketball,
crap.
big one. Yeah, because I'm just going from the bottom up the side, and it's like the thing is like 2.5 inches long or wide. So every pull is like it just that's 2.5 inches. Pull up,
Jeez.
pull up, pull up, 2.5 inches every time I say that.
Sure.
Pull up,
Sure. Yep.
pull up, and then it's just done. But when I carve the pumpkin, like when I'm getting it ready to carve, then that's more work. Like if I'm cleaning it for somebody else, it won't take that long. But when I'm
Mhm.
cleaning it to carve for myself, the one side I need to shave down a lot so the light comes through better. Because when you peel
Oh,
the skin
right.
off the
Yeah.
outside, it doesn't light up very well. If the pumpkin's still like an inch and a half thick, I got to get it down so it's not super thick.
Yeah. Okay. So the inside of the pumpkin, like the wall of the pumpkin, is actually thinner so that the light gets through.
Dessert. Yep.
Nice.
Because
Okay.
otherwise, if you
Okay.
scrape off the skin on the outside, the light just doesn't penetrate when it's that thick. I mean, it does kind of, but it just looks way better when you
Yeah,
scrape
the
off the
key to
inside
getting
too.
that third color that you were talking about is like a really thin barrier between the light and the dark side. And just, yeah, there's just a thin barrier there. That makes sense.
Yep.
And what is this clay tool you're talking about? Like, how, describe that clay tool. I don't even know. I don't know what you're talking about. I've worked with clay tools, but like, what does this thing look like?
So well, so it has like it's a wooden handle, and then it's got like it's just a loop on the end, pretty much. Um,
Oh, like a wire loop?
this one's yeah, but it's not a wire. It's kind of almost like a potato peeler, like
Oh
not a
shit.
blade like that, but like that kind of thickness of metal, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then like
Mm-hmm.
you just make a loop out of that, and it's
Jesus.
kind of I wouldn't say sharp, but it's made to cut clay, so it doesn't need to be super sharp, and it works
Mm-hmm.
perfect for pumpkin because the pumpkin flesh is soft.
That's awesome. And then you have little tools to, and then you said you had little tools to do the outside part that are similar to that.
Yeah, yeah, like well, these ones are the ones little V shape. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the metal is some of them are V shaped, some of them are like U shaped. They're just little,
Oh
almost
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just like a little channel, and you're just kind
Sure.
of like cutting. Uh, yeah, I don't know a good way to explain those, but yeah,
No, no, no. You're doing good. I mean, I get it. I hope that the listeners can get it too. Because I think you're doing great. I can kind of I can picture it. Are we gonna get some gram footage out of this? Do you have stuff to put up on Instagram this week
yeah.
during the podcast? Because that would be fucking sick. Because I think
Mm,
seeing pictures are really gonna, and we should send the listeners over to the Real AF TV Instagram. Remember, real with two e's. And yeah, you should post some shit because I know I've seen them. I think to really drive this home, you should post them on Instagram this week. So go over to Instagram, REELAFTV on Instagram. Check out these photos. Tim's going to put some shit up. Are you doing any this year? Are you going to be able to do any this year? I know it's been a weird
Yes.
year with it snowing and shit already. It's like, damn.
Yeah. I'll be getting some out there. That's one thing with it getting really cold. Like, when they freeze solid and I start cutting into them, like, hopefully I can get it done before it starts thawing out. But then sometimes they start like leaking liquid when I'm trying to do it. And then they're just all wet on the front. And it's not that big of a deal, but it just gets annoying. But, um, I've only been doing this kind like for about 5 years, I'd say. Like, I was always I did pumpkins like you did for a long time, and then one year I'm like, I want something really complicated. Like, I want to see how far I can take this, and I
You mean
did
the
as
design was
complicated as I
complicated?
could with a knife. Yeah, I
Like,
did as
like,
complicated as I could with a knife, and it was a skull, but it was a very detailed skull. Like eyes and the
what
teeth and
was it, like a Dia de los Muertos skull, like a Day of the Dead, like the Mexican Day of the Dead
mm,
skull, with like the holes in it and all that
no,
sort of shit?
that's that I did one of those last year, and I think I'm going to do another one this year, but
Nice.
a little one that has a little bit more pattern than the one last year.
Oh God.
But so last year, I was still working at the car dealership, and they had like a pumpkin carving contest, and I
Yeah.
was the first one to submit a pumpkin, and then nobody else brought a pumpkin in.
Humble brag.
So yeah, it's like you can say that I won by default. We'll say that. There's no bragging. I won by default because I was the only one that entered a pumpkin in.
But what you're
Not
really
saying that
saying
mine scared
is,
everyone else away, but
but it scared everybody else away.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
Everybody
fuck
else is
yeah.
just like, I'm not bringing in mine. But yeah, I've done a couple. I have one. I'll throw some up there. I have
Yeah.
one that I did for the Timberwolves logo.
Oh yeah. The
And I
Minnesota
did
Timberwolves, the NBA
that
basketball
Day of the
team.
Dead one.
The Day of the
Oh yeah, we're
Yeah.
so good.
Just
Minnesota
the
sports, we're the best.
Yeah, you betcha.
Mi- Minnesota Vikings are currently 1-5, I think.
Yeah, I think that's
What?
what I saw too. Yeah, we literally have one good team, the women's basketball team. I mean, we do technically have a Call of Duty team now, but it's
Yeah.
only their second year. I don't. Oh, you know what? The Timberwolves esports team is really good. They won the championship last year, their rookie year. I don't or the first season.
Nice.
Yeah, their first season in the league in 2019. They actually won the NBA 2K championship. It was like, what? Something that the real Timberwolves have been struggling, but also the Lynx are really good. It's like
Yeah.
out of those three franchises that are all tied in, the NBA team's the only one who can't get a championship under their belt.
Yeah. Well, our video game, the people that play video games in this state, I would be willing to bet have a lot more practice than some states because we have like 6 months out of the year where everybody's like, I am not leaving the fucking house.
Right. Exactly. And it's already begun for this year, so holy shit. Can you believe it?
Yeah, Jesus, it's ridiculous. There's like, what, a couple days ago we got like 6 inches of snow. It's
Yeah.
like 20 degrees outside right now.
Yeah, it was like a record.
And
We got a
it's,
record snowfall. Oops. Yeah, it was a record snowfall. Not like an all-time record, but it was like the second most snowiest day in October on record, and it was only eclipsed by the 91 Halloween blizzard. Were you out in that thing?
yeah, dude. I remember I have pictures. I was a vampire that year that looked like he was eating healthy. Like I was sucking down people left and right, dude, because I had
What does that mean?
full snow pants. I had full snowsuit underneath the like cape and stuff, So I'm just
Yes,
puffy as
yes, yes,
shit.
yes.
Like we still went trick or treating and all that snow.
Hell yeah, dude.
Not gonna stop you from getting not gonna stop us from getting candy, dude.
No, a
Come
little
on now.
snow gonna stop us from going out and getting the candy? That ain't happening. Not in Minnesota, damn it.
No, you're not stopping us from going outside. Well, the ones that want to go outside, you're not stopping us. And especially when I'm getting a full bag of free candy. No.
Yep. Um we had a furry costume. Like I had like a bear costume that my grandma had made me, and it was furry. It was like like an actual look like a furry bear. Uh yeah, no, it was not enough. It was not enough. I was in full snow gear and just had like this furry bear hat on, and that was basically it. I just was a dressed up like big puffy jacket, the jumpsuit, or the overall snow pants, and pair of boots, and then I
Right.
just had this
Yep.
bear
Me
hat
too.
on with like a black blotch on my nose for like a bear nose, and that was it. But we went out and got that candy, man.
But this might be the snowiest October.
Oh, I bet you this turns out to be the snowiest October, because if you're listening to this podcast on the day it releases, there's more snow very near in the future. And that was one day. Like that was
Well,
one
plus every day
Halloween.
this week.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
snowed all the way up until the release, like on Monday when this comes out. There's there's been like 3 or 4 days worth of snow, and what we're talking about, the Halloween blizzard of '91, was one day. Like it still didn't even continue into
Right
October,
at
from
the
what I
end.
understand. But yeah, it was literally the last day, the last night of October, and now we've already had almost a week worth of snow this year. It's crazy.
Yeah, and the temperature is what's the most
Yeah.
ridiculous thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we should be still in the realm of like 50 degrees and we're sitting in like 20s.
Yeah.
It's just and I haven't seen the sun for 4 days.
Yeah, for real. That's no joke. Actually, if you check our Twitter account, I commented on Green Bay's weather. Uh, I can't think of it. Green Bay's weather department said that there was some fire snow. It's not fire snow. It's smoke snow that blew in from Colorado. We had it here because I'm a little bit further south than you are. We had like orange skies all day, some day last week, and it was literally
Yeah.
soot that blew in from the Colorado fires. That was just in the snow and in the sky. It was crazy.
Is that what it
Mm-hmm.
was? Yeah, well, so I'm a delivery driver and my route is in the cities and it was orange skies. Like
Oh yeah,
I
yeah, yeah, yeah.
remember getting out of the truck and like looking up and just being like, "What is
Yeah, that's
this?"
what it was, dude.
Like I've seen weird colored skies before storms,
Yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
thunderstorms in the summer and stuff. And I've seen heavy snow at weird times of the year. I've never seen heavy snows with orange skies. I was just like,
Yeah.
I, I literally remember thinking to myself, looking at the orange skies, feeling like this is eerie and ominous. And what else is 2020 throwing at us here? Like, what,
It was
what
very
is
fitting for
this?
2020.
Just literally everything that could happen is happening this year.
So we might as well bring this full circle here and actually talk about fishing a little bit. Oh, I didn't think we were going to get there, but we are, because we were already talking about the cold temperatures, and I have ponds around me, just small ponds, right? They have snow ice on them, where like the snow fell and like it must have just filled up the pond enough, essentially, and then the cold temperatures keep it, because it's like the ponds are covered in slush. Are you seeing that?
Yes, I have seen that, and I kind of want to go and play with it because I've seen like on the gram and stuff
Uh-huh.
where people put their hand underneath that and then lift it up slowly, and it's kind of layered and it looks cool. I haven't went and actually checked it out, but yeah, I see a lot of little there's a lot of little like man-made ponds around a lot of apartment buildings and different places that I deliver to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you can't go ice fishing on it, but like, isn't it crazy to think that we're like, it's the end of October right now, and I guess ice fishing is going to be the next option? Like, we're supposed to be fall fishing, like we were just talking about in our last episode. We were just like, yeah, fall fishing, of course. Like, we went out fall fishing not too long before that, and now like here we are at the end of October going like, okay, so there's like slush ice on the water already. Are we just going to be ice fishing next? Like, what the fuck?
Nah, I mean, we shouldn't be. That would be crazy. It's never happened this early ever. But what should happen is like in a week or two, this stupid cold spell will go away and we'll get back into like the 50 degrees. All the snow will disappear until like late November, probably. I can't say for sure because this state is weird as shit.
Yeah, we have some weird ass weather.
But yeah, I just don't know what to think about this. Have been getting a little bit depressed thinking about it. Like, it's October already. Are we really gonna have 6 months of fucking snow on the ground? Like, this can't be. It needs to melt. Like, tomorrow, I'm going to a party where part of the plan was kind of to be like, yeah, COVID's not great, but we'll try to like have a bonfire and stand outside. And then all of a sudden, 2020 is like, no, the fuck you won't. Here's 6 inches of snow. Like,
and it's here to stay for a few days for some reason.
Yeah.
And so again, I just
like, we're gonna
wrap it back to fishing quick before we sign off. Is like, let's say it does warm up and it does melt. Are you even gonna get out on the water again? I've been thinking about it, even just hitting the local spot with like a jerkbait and giving it a go. Is it even gonna work right now? Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it'll work. You'll be able to go fishing still. Yeah. Jerkbait. If you want to hear like a little bit about what you should be using this time of year, we talked about it in the last episode, but everything we talked about in the last episode will still work. It'll get cold. People fish way late into the year. Some people that aren't real avid fishermen will wait until it gets super cold because the walleyes will really start feeding before the ice hits.
Oh, are they like
They'll be
bulking up
for winter and stuff? And yeah, yeah, you can catch some real nice fish this time of year.
Nice.
It's a little bit slower going, and the elements are, you know, you gotta deal with all that stuff. But if you dress properly and you have patience, or you have some friends to drink beers with while you're waiting. Is it beer? Or here's a question I've wondered for a while. Anybody listening, hit us up if you have the answer. So deer, the plural of deer is deer. If I'm drinking more than one beer, is it beer? Or is it beers? I don't say deers, but do I say beers? Anybody have an answer to that question?
Yeah, please.
I'm going to drink some beers with my buddies and fish. I want to know.
Me too. You just blew my fucking mind.
Random thought.
So, on that note, this has been the Real AF TV podcast, the show where we usually talk about fishing and random takes from the land of 10,000 lakes. This is one of our holiday specials. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Josh LaBaw. The other guy is Tim Wagner. We had a lot of call-outs in this one. Go to realaftv.com or realaf.tv. Check out our contact form and send us the answer to, is it beers or deers or beer? What, beers or deers? Let us know. What You just blew my mind.
Yeah.
I can't even fucking think right now.
I don't know what the answer is, and I'd like to know the answer. And also, if you want to see something more messed up than The Hills Have Eyes, and that doesn't have a great storyline, go check out The Human Centipede 2. I don't know what the third one's like. Never seen the third one. Just throwing that out there. Human Centipede 1 is not good.
Hey, you kids want to see a dead body?